Good morning, everyone. We're going to be starting a little bit early today because, well, usually I release a video on Dream Hangars, but I had something come up yesterday, so that's why I'm doing this live stream. But also we got an update, so I'm not sure if those changes are live yet. I think some of them are, because I was looking at Unstable Conduit and it has changed. So I'm assuming some of the balance changes they had in their notes on their site are kind of live, which is a good thing because now when I evaluate this Dream Hangar, it kind of gives me an idea of, which way to go in terms of like guidance. Hi, Aaron. Hi, Ramil. Okay, so we're taking a look at today's comment. I'm not even going to be attempting to pronounce that name because that name's very long. I'm just going to say one. So, one's comment, can you please feature my hangar in Dream Hangars? I'm stuck in Diamond 1. And it looks like they're struggling to climb. So, we've got the Fenrir, Ravana, Seraph, Skyros, Demeter, and the Luchador. So, I'm going to take a look at this hangar and then what's going to happen is we're going to run a couple of games, see how the hangar performs, and afterwards I'm going to make some adjustments to try to optimize it. So yeah, that's kind of how the Dream Hangars works. Hi Gasper. It's been a while since you got my live stream and hope everything is better. Or your son. Yeah, I was having problems with my son. Hopefully there's no echo. Yeah, I ran into issues last night with my Fortnite live stream. iOS won't. Yeah, usually Android gets the update first. And then iOS. Ooh, I don't know if they're going to get it tomorrow. More likely next week, I think. I don't know. Possibly tomorrow. So that also means that I would imagine the platforms are separated again. So the wait times are going to be a lot longer. But here is the hangar. So as I said, I'm going to run a few games with this hangar. We're going to take a look at how it performs. Then I'm going to go in and try to optimize it. Now, when I say optimize, it could mean changing the weapons. It could mean changing the modules, the drone, possibly pilot skills. Okay. I'll keep all the robots the same that we have, but I might make a comment on like what I would change personally. Stuck in Diamond League. Well, not me. It's more this viewer. So this viewer over here is struggling. Actually, before I get into the hangars, just one thing to kind of mention, because a lot of players seem to focus on like, well, this guy has MK2 or he has MK3 or he has Metabots. In order to have a bigger impact on your game, I've been stressing this over the last like few months. It's really important that you learn the basics. When you focus too much on that, your focus is in the wrong place and you will have a bigger impact learning, the basics and executing it well than you would leveling something up. And it could, like, we're talking a big difference here. Like, like I could give someone, more leveled up hangar and they may win like 5 to 10% more. But I could also like train someone to know the basics better and their win percentage may jump up 20-30%. So that's the difference, and that is without giving them more leveled up stuff. So it does make a difference, but you can only tell players so much up to a certain point before it clicks. So anyways, getting to this hangar, we do have the Fenrir here with the Ember Igniters. I have Anti-Control, Nuclear Amplifier, Last Stand, Advanced Repair. So the reason why I'm using Anti-Control is more so I don't get like locked down or EMP'd. We'll see how this goes. I think Last Stand's really important in the current meta. I know players will say, well, what about Crisis Reaper? Well, the Crisis Reaper is going to wipe out everything. I'm pretty sure those weapons are going to get a nerf at some point. I'm not sure in this update, but I can see that happening. So not really too worried about that. Just the damage output of a lot of builds is really high, so I think having the last stand helps. It's also going to help with the new Shy, is it the Shy drone? Yeah, the Shy drone, which I did a video on. What I've actually done, so we do have advanced repair here. I'm not going to use unstable conduit until the second half of the stream, because I have noticed they have this and they have made changes. They didn't mention that it's now 70 power cells. I'm not sure if this is correct, but from what I recall, it was 60 power cells. Now it's 70, so this has gone up. But the stats from the, you know, when I did my video on the test server is, I think it's the same, right? It's the same. But this cost here has gone up. So just an FYI, because I was looking at that. What I've done with all the drones, so these are the drones, like, well, you'll see when I go through all of it, but I picked drones which you can get in the store, and we'll start with that, and then we will kind of build on that. My baby account will get what I wanted with the Minos. Well, that's just, I think I have to log in every day though. The thing is, I don't always do that. Sometimes I miss like a week. So yeah, so we have the Ravana here with the jaw. I'm running 2 nuclear amplifiers on here just to kind of get that max damage, the 76% or whatever it is. 95 stacks with the jaw weapons. We've got the whiteout drone. So with this particular build, one thing that I have a problem with, so I think these weapons were nerfed down, but it's not really that, you know, even if they didn't nerf it, I still have a problem with this particular build. If you fire half your clip, when you go into Transcendence mode, you have half a clip. So when you get out of Transcendence mode, you can only hit the enemy with half a clip. You know, it doesn't reload when you're using your ability. Versus something like the Havoc, which when you use your ability, it's actually reloading during that ability. So using the jaw might be kind of tricky. We'll see how it does. I think actually Mace might be stronger. So we could try Mace as an alternative. Yeah, I'm actually trying to like prevent players from spending money. Like if you focus on actual basics, you can do better in your games without having to spend. Like I'm actually doing you a favor. But players are so like, you know, their mindset is in the wrong place. Like I'm actually doing you a favor. Okay, so we have Seraph with the decay. We've got nuclear amplifiers on here. I'm going with the Patron. We've got the Skyros with Glacier, Cryo, and Rhyme. So with this one, I also have an anti-control because what I find with the Skyros quite often, players trying to lock me down when I'm going for beacons, and I think this is going to help. We could use Immune Amplifier, but I actually found that when I used Immune Amplifier, it takes, like, I have to take the damage first for it to be effective. And there we have the Demeter with the Havoc. That's called mental issues. I don't know. It's like, you know, you can tell someone certain things just to kind of help them out. But sometimes, you know, you get some individuals where they won't listen. They're stubborn. The only way they learn is when they go through it. And then hopefully things click and yeah. Okay, so we've got the Mahavajra and the Vajra on the Luchador. I do have damage controllers, Onslaught, and Titan Repair Amplifier. I might switch up the modules for this depending on how our games go. I'm going to try to keep the stream to about maybe an hour and a half. So again, run a couple of games. Halfway through, then I'm going to kind of go through the hangar and see how I can make adjustments to improve it. Hopefully we can. If we can't, then maybe it's a matter of, you know, like maybe they need to go for beacons or something. But judging from like what I'm seeing here, I think it's okay. The only thing is I'm not sure about the Seraph. I'm just looking to see how much. Okay, so we got like some range. I think this should be able to hold up. Yeah, you can't tell people how to spend money. I mean, it's their money. Like, I think players tend to forget that, right? It's like, I wouldn't want someone telling me how to spend my money, so why should I do it? I'm not saying don't spend at all. You can support the developers if you enjoy the game. I'm just telling you that you would save more learning the basics. You will enjoy the game more too. Okay, so I'm just going to go for beacons here. This beacon's open, so I'm going to push this beacon. This guy's coming to center. I'm going to go all the way through. So this is where if they try to lock me down, having that anti-control really helps. This guy's on our left flank. So you notice how like the red team, they have harpies and sirens and stuff. That is actually good for me because that ensures that I can get beacons. Just gonna get rid of this guy if we can. Oh my gosh, this guy's pretty tough. He's gonna go down, right? So wait, why do we only have 3 players? What happened to the rest of my team? This is kind of crazy how that guy managed to survive that. Hi, crazy. We've only got 3 players on our team. What is this guy in over here? Okay, we've got 4 players. I'm gonna see if I can try to get this guy. Okay, we have 2 guys on this beacon. This is good because now we can change it. Okay, do you see how when I use my ability, I only have like 1 or 2 shots? This is what I'm talking about. Now I have to use my ability again. So it actually makes me more vulnerable. That's why I don't particularly like these weapons. It has nothing to do with if they were nerfed. Even if they weren't. Even if they had double the damage. You know, I still wouldn't like the mechanics of it. Okay, so I'm taking on a lot more damage here than I probably want to. Yep. Let me drop in here with this. Oh man, I was hoping I could protect him. Man, this whole game we've only had like 3 or 4 players. Okay, we got that guy. This has been like 4 versus 6 the whole time. Okay, so we got center. Ooh, oh no! I wanted to teleport to that player. Yeah, considering we only have 3 players, I would say we're doing pretty well. That guy's gonna drop in with a Titan. Yeah, I'm gonna be dead. There's no ways. But I had to push because of what he had. When are we getting them in? I have no idea. I think you have to log in every day or something. Or something along those lines. See if we can get another kill, maybe. There we go. I'm dead. I think overall we did pretty well, but again, it was like 3 vs 6 the whole game. Most rebalances have been done. You know what? I'm just gonna leave so we can drop into another game. Otherwise, we're gonna sit here. I'm only gonna be streaming for like an hour and a half. Hi, Brandon. Log in 3 days. Okay, so for the ones who just dropped by, this is the Dream Hangar that I'm doing. So this player struggles. They're in Diamond League, but they're struggling to climb. So I'm taking a look at their hangar to see how it actually performs and whether I can improve on it. The first game, I think we did okay, actually, to be honest. You're also stuck in Diamond League. Yeah, overall, it's not too bad. It's not like I'm using like premium drones or anything. You know, I'm just using the ones that are from the store. It's not because everything is MK3. I know players are gonna say, well, that's the reason why. I could use MK212 if I wanted to. There's no difference. Like, I think overall it did really well. So, you know, under those conditions, yeah, the wait time is going to be really long, guys, because the platforms aren't merged. So the only ones I'm playing against right now are Android players, I think, because they're the only ones that got the update, from what I understand. Hi, Rue. Hi, Mandeep. Oh, you might buy the Sharanga. Yeah, Sharanga's fun to play. It just goes down really fast, that's all. Cryo? No, I wouldn't run the Cryo. Yeah, I tried it. I think if you're going to go rockets, the only thing, unfortunately, I would run is probably Ultimate Orkin. I think it's better just to go like Havoc. Havoc or like Mace. We'll take a look at Mace afterwards, because I think Mace might do better than the Jaw. Man, that took a while. I'm just looking to see where my teammates are going. Okay, I'm going to go down to the bottom beacon. That guy's going to the bottom beacon. I'm going to go to the right. This guy's going to need some help on the right side. Yeah, so we want to make sure we get... Also have the whiteout drone on here, which is perfect, because now I can mess up this guy's ability, his timings, right? Because we're disabling him. There we go. And when there's a lot of players like this, sometimes I just get really close so that we can use the whiteout on them. Let's do that. So he can't heal, right? And he can't use his ability because of that whiteout drone. It's going to really mess him up. There we go. Okay, let's get this beacon. We've got the lower beacon. I'm just looking to see why that beacon wasn't changed. I'm just trying to hold this beacon down for as long as possible. I don't want to go into the other mode because he has the harpoon weapons or go through my shield. So if I can stay in this poor mode for as long as possible, that would be ideal. And he's going to blind me. But remember, even though he's blinding me, I'm also kind of messing him up with the whiteout. So I'm hoping that's going to help. You know, oh, that Skyros should have moved. He should have moved onto... So he's used his ability. I'm going to use my ability now. I'll use it again. We got that beacon. Which beacon do we have? I think we don't have our home, right? That's kind of funny. The only beacon we don't have is our home beacon. We got both of their beacons. Just don't have... Yeah, this is annoying. Let's do that. Guy's gonna be jumping here. I'm just trying to hold this beacon down for as long as possible. Oh man, what is going on over here? We're losing both of our beacons there. Trying to focus down their titans if I can. We lost both our beacons. I'm gonna drop in at home and then teleport to the guy down below here. Just keeping his shield down. Trying to get his back turn. Whoa, we're shooting inside his shield. Whoa, we went through his legs. Ooh, oh my. Yes. You know what? The Demeter actually helped there, believe it or not. This guy's gonna get me. Oh no. I tried to go around the corner, but I got locked. We still won. Is a rust rocket nerf in effect? I'm not sure actually. I think it might be. Although it kind of seems the same. I don't know, maybe not yet. Whiteout on the Loki, yeah, I can kind of see that. Although you're in trouble because, like, if someone runs Quantum Radar, which a lot of players are running right now, their Loki's not very very safe. I think for the whiteout, the best bot right now is probably Skyros. I mean, could you imagine having like 3 Skyros, for example, charge you and they all have whiteout drone? Man, that would really mess you up. Hi, Ars. With Rhyme Kepri. That's an interesting... You don't find that the rockets you run out? Is a cryo useless? No, there are some builds where it actually works. It's actually not too bad on the Skyros. It can work on the Scorpion, although I do prefer Sonic if I had a choice. Sorry guys, it's taking us a while to find games here because we don't, the platforms aren't merged. Since Android got the update, they had to kind of separate the platforms again. Ravana is better to use shotgun. Shotgun and like burst damage, like high burst damage build. So for example, like the ultimate Orkan, you know, that's not really a shotgun, it's rockets. But it has really high burst damage. And also the thing with rockets, you got to remember, so when you're using your ability, right, your Transcendence, your rockets are reloading, which is perfect for the Ravana. Ooh, best spots to run flames. I mean, Typhon could probably work. Demeter's not that bad. Do you have good beard? Man, I get some strange questions. That's one of them. Magnetars and Puncher. I can see that working. Flame. Okay, so if I ran the Revenant between the Rust Rockets and the Flames, I would use Flames probably. That's a good example. Because remember, you're teleporting right next to the players, right? So I think Flames would work better. With the Rust Rockets, you still have to lock onto them. And also, not to mention, if they're going to stealth, you're not going to hit them, right? But with Flames, you can get them with the splash. Haha. So that's why I think I would prefer that. Maybe I should try Domination. Man, there's like no players. No players on Android. I mean, it is a morning time, so like most are at school or like working. Awesomeness, Adrian. That's gonna be like my nickname soon. I should be careful of like blowing things up and lighting things on fire. Yeah, so I have actually run, because I noticed someone's mentioning, I don't know if you're referring to, because you say cryo, are you referring to that like on the Angler? It's not that bad. I mean, I have tried it. I really want to go to so from our spawn, the center beacon should come first. Although, I don't know if my teammates are going to get the dam. I just happen to be the closest one, and I really do want to get into the center before the other team does. I think it's really, really important on this map. So if we can get this beacon, I can hold the center down. My teammates need to get off the platform. We're gonna have company here soon, and I... Okay, wait, what? So we didn't get... Guys, are you seriously... See, this is what I mean. I could give these guys all maxed out hangers. Do you see what they just did? They let the guy go get the damn beacon. So even if they had maxed out hangars, it wouldn't change. Like what they're deciding right now is based on habit. So we lost. So is my team gonna get off the platform here and help me, or like am I gonna have to do this all by myself? Yeah, he's also got the whiteout turn, so I definitely don't want to go into weapons mode here because this guy... Oh wait, hold on. So you see the burst damage? That's the burst damage of the cryo rockets. So wait, where's my... So we have 4 guys on the platform. One who actually... You know what? Kudos to that guy for actually getting that beacon back. I didn't think we were going to get that beacon. I got to be careful. This guy's got harpoon too. I need my teammates to drop in at center. They've got to help me out. Like, otherwise I'm going to ditch and I'm going to drop in. So this is what I sometimes do. And oh, shoot. I forgot this is domination. Sometimes what I do is I ditch and then I drop in on a beacon. But I think we still need to go there. Like, it doesn't matter. He's still going to get that beacon. I'm going to go into center. I'm going to plant my Fenrir there. This guy's doing a lot of damage to me. Wow, wait. How is that guy able to use Stellar Prisma to go through my resistance? Is that guy cheating? I don't know, that seems kind of weird. My Fenrir, that guy just blasted. Sorry, that was just kind of fishy. He's going through my resistance. Like, I have no resistance. The last time I checked, I didn't know that it could go through like that. He's not even... That is an Erebus. Is this guy cheating? That guy might be cheating. I'm not sure. There's so many cheats in the game where players are using subtle hacks. That might be one of them. Strange how it went through my resistance so quickly, though. That didn't seem normal. And it's not like he can boost his damage, isn't it? That guy's in an Erebus. Prismas aren't that strong. Prisma was nerfed. That's what I mean. I think that guy's... He might be cheating. It's going through my resistance. It went through my... Like, it literally went through all my resistance. Even in flight, too. Who was it? This guy? It's that guy over there. See, look at this guy's... I don't know if it was this guy. This guy's Prisma wasn't going through. Like, he struggled, right? That other guy might be cheating. I think he might be cheating. That didn't seem normal, that. It increases damage, yeah, but there's a very big difference between increasing damage versus going through resistance. It's probably hacks. Oh, that's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure he's cheating. I think that guy's cheating. If it was nerfed 25%, that is it. Like, there's no ways. And he went through my resistance too. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get close. I can't go to the center though, because that was earlier. That was our opportunity. I'm not going to get my mothership charged up. I wanted to try to get my paladin charged up so that I could at least do a heal. He's going to be jumping to my right flank. Not sure if I'm going to be able to kill this guy. Maybe. There we go. I have a jump ready. Trying to block him so he can't get to that beacon. Can I check the Erebus guy? Which one was it again? I don't know. When he hit me when I was in that Fenrir, that seemed very suspicious. Which one was it? Was it this guy? I mean, it's going to deal increased damage, but 10% is not really that much more. There were 4 prismas. Well, there's this one here. I don't know, that just was a little bit suspicious because like Fenrir, it does have resistance, right? Either that or it wasn't activated, which I don't believe it was. I know, it just seems that game seemed really fishy. Hi, Ned. That's actually the reason why I had that last stand on, by the way. Because I read a comment somewhere where one guy was like, it doesn't make sense to run last stand. No, it actually makes absolute sense to run last stand now. If I had the repair amps, I would have been dead a lot quicker. That last stand allows me to survive a little bit longer. Not a lot longer, but you know, it makes a difference. No, there was a guy. I know they had behemoth guys, but there was also a player that had the Erebus too. There was one with an Erebus. They had actually 2 behemoths with an Erebus, so maybe I was just getting hit by like 2 players. But the thing is now, the reason why I always say they may be cheating is because remember, if 60%, this was a couple of months ago, 60% of the top players, well, they call themselves top players, really cheaters. 60% of them are using subtle hacks. That means if I had to play 10 games, out of the 10 games, 6 of them will have cheaters in it. So you can't really blame me for thinking this this way, right? Until they have Crisis Reaper, but that goes for any other bot though. It doesn't really make any difference. I would still rather have that last stand. Yeah, it makes even more sense to have last stand now. I think you have. I'm not gonna say out of your mind. I just think it's really risky not having a last stand. Most of my builds have last stand, if not all. Ramil, when the shy comes, I will have a last stand, so it can activate twice. Thank you, Gab. That is one really long name. Thank you so much for your donation. Much appreciated. I need like Google Translate because is that Spanish? I think it's Spanish. I'm just looking to see any openings in the red team's defense. I'm gonna go around to their home beacon. It's not 60%. Oh, trust me, it was 60% from what I heard. It's even higher now because apparently iOS is starting to cheat too. I saw it in Pixonic's chat. They're aware about it, by the way. There's clans in iOS that are cheating now too. So that 60%, it's actually higher because now iOS is in on it too. I'm gonna see if I can try to disable this guy with the whiteout here. It's just to do that. How did we lose our home? Yeah, they're not going to give that up. They have our home beacon now. You know, that's the thing. Like, if you play Beacon Rush, especially when you give up your home beacon, if you think you're going to get it back, good luck with that. The other team has strong players and they have all tanks. So, one of the questions someone was asking me, what's a good tank? Fenrir. You see this guy in front of me? He's holding that beacon down. And I can't really get close to him because I'm in a Seraph here. Hopefully, I think that guy's going to drop in with another, right? Yeah, he did with an Orochi. But Orochi is easy to kill. He's going to run out of abilities eventually. We got that beacon back. There we go. Guy's gonna hit me. Uh-oh. Oh, I knocked his one weapon off though. How do bugs happen? What causes bugs? I think it's more usually when the coding doesn't work well together. Like when it's coded, there can be some unforeseen occurrences that can happen, and the outcome, you don't really know what the outcome is. What's a better way to put it? I'm trying to think what might be a really good way to put it, and I'm probably going to get it wrong because I'm not a coder myself, but it's like, let's just say, for example, you're mixing medicine. You know, like you have different chemicals, right? You're trying to create something and you didn't take into account what might happen, and something completely unexpected happens instead. I think it's probably like that, if I had to guess. This guy's down to his last stand here. Man, I really don't like these weapons on here. So like I got a fire. This guy's turret's doing a lot of damage to me. Yeah, every time you're gonna get a new feature, these things can happen. We only have 3 players left now. Like cooking food, you gotta do it right. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go back to this beacon here just in case. I mean, they might drop in with a Titan here, though. That's the thing. I just want to make sure that I kind of change this beacon. Uh-oh. 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 I'm actually kind of liking this Luchador build. It's pretty tanky. Guys, please don't give up that beacon. I just want to go get that beacon and you're going to give it back up again? Come on. Okay, we're going to get center. Ah! Yeah, I'm dead. Yep, I'm dead. Is it possible to transfer from Android to iOS? No. I think if you do that, you have to do it through, like, you have to ask them. It might be a special request, but I'm not sure if they would do it. I should use unstable conduit. Okay, so what I'll do now, because we're kind of more than halfway, what I wanted to do, in case you are new to Dream Hangars, what I typically do is I run whatever the viewer has asked for like the first half. So I'd run a couple, usually when I do it in a video format, I will run a couple of games and then select like the best game, which showcases that hangar. And then for the second half, what I do is I go in and I make adjustments. So I'm going to do that right now based on, you know, what I've seen. So if you didn't catch the beginning of the stream, what I said with all of these builds, what I've done, the drones I'm using are the ones that can be bought through the store. And now I'm going to go in, I'm going to make some adjustments based on what I've seen. So we're going to try to improve this. Some players say, well, this doesn't make any sense to do it this way because they don't have access to it. The thing is, you know, they're just thinking about themselves. There are players out there who may buy like cheap deals. You might see one for maybe the paralysis, or maybe you might even win one, but you don't know which bot to put it on. So if I show you now, then at least you know, right? So we're going to do that right now. I'm going to try, you know what? I want to try, let's try to do this with 2 nuclear amps here. And I might change the setup here, but I'm going to try it with flames first. Typically what I do is when I have flames, I do prefer to run the paralysis because it helps to lock players down. And if I lock them down, then the flames are going to hit hard. This build wasn't that bad. Actually, you know what I want to do here? Let's try Let's try unstable conduit. Just a FYI, in case you joined the live stream now. So the changes are in effect, it seems, because we have extra durability, but 70 power cells. I think it used to be 60 before. It's actually 10 more. There is a way that you can reduce the cost. So I guess I can just do that now. Let's just do that. I'll change this one here. So to reduce the cost, you have to use... Wait, does this even have... Quartermaster. Okay, so Quartermaster reduces the cost of the amount of power cells that you will use. So if you're gonna use Unstable Conduit, this would be a good skill to have. Can I please run? I won't be running other builds because I'm focusing entirely on this Dream Hangar. And I'm pretty sure that if I was covering your Dream Hangar, you wouldn't want me to run other bots, you know? You would want to see what kind of changes I would do to help your hangar. So just to kind of be respectful to... I can't pronounce his name. I'm just going to call Juan. I'm going to stick with his bots and change up possibly the builds here. So I hope you understand. Okay, so what I would like to actually see is how this does with like Mace. I typically run Havoc on here, but I want to see how Mace will do. Yeah, 70 power cells. I mean, 60 was a lot, but now we're getting to 70. So I think, yeah, using that Quartermaster, I think is going to be important. I think that's it's pretty expensive. So with something like this, I will probably end up using Sharpshooter just because it might help with the range. So if the player is further out, closer to that, you know, the end range, like the 500 meters, because it's more focused and you have shot grouping, I'm more likely to do more damage to them that way. So typically when I use like Havocs or Mace, I tend to use Sharpshooter. Let's see. Would I use this? Wonder how Kestrel would do on here. What I'm going to do and on this particular build is running Sonics and see how the Sonic does. Most times you're in ball mode anyways. The only other option would be that I can think of would be the harpoon weapons, which would make it stronger, but not many players have it. I don't think I would run these blast shotguns. So I'm running Sonic weapons mostly because when I'm in ball mode, then it's busy reloading, so I kind of like that. Okay, you got Sonic. You know what? I'm kind of tempted to use flames on here only because I ran that in like on my baby account, so you guys can see the difference. So if you missed my video, when was it, yesterday, on my baby account, I have a Demeter, which I run with flames. And one of the things I said, I think I said it in that video, but I have, even if I didn't, you know, flames can do a lot of damage. But if you pair it up with like the paralysis, when you lock players down, you can definitely do a ton of damage. We'll run this. Mace works really well on here too. Thank you, Ramil, for your membership gift. Thank you so much. Harpoon. Yeah, I'm seeing more of them. That's the other build that I would run. So if you run the Harpoon and you have a Kestrel, obviously we can run that. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, let's try this. Let's try this and see how it does. I'm gonna keep that Luchador because I'm kind of liking that Luchador build the way it is. Maybe you'll buy a lottery ticket today. Sold all the rust rockets. Yeah, I think so. One of the things that I think players should be careful of when a weapon gets nerfed, it happens so often. I see players selling the weapon because they think that it's not going to be viable again. That is, you don't want to do that. Okay, so if you've leveled it up, let's just say, for example, you were running a lot of like rust rockets like on every single bot, which I don't know why you would want to do that because you're just setting yourself up. So what I would do then is keep maybe like between 4 and 8 like claw, for example, like maybe 6 claw, and then sell the rest. So especially if it's something like a limited edition version, you know, you want to keep those if you have it leveled up. Yeah, I don't want to go for this guy. I'm going to stay on this beacon for now. We got to be... okay, I was going to say we got to be careful because that guy was moving closer to our spawn. I'll go into center here and see if we can get this beacon. Okay, I'm not going to get off this beacon for now. Mostly because these guys are here. I'm watching this player here. I want to get off this beacon. I can't lead this until someone gets here or takes this guy out. Okay, let's try to do this. We did a decent amount of damage to him. I don't want to use my ability here. That guy still got me. Actually, no, the other guy... oh my gosh, my whole team, they just decided to... this is not what you want to do, guys. You should not be doing that. That was a very big mistake. They all spawned in at home. What about the other beacons? You're setting yourself up for spawn raid. Oh, that was weird. This guy did like a double drop or something. Just trying to lock him down. Being really annoying. There's a guy behind me. Shoot. So I have locked this guy down. Ugh, We've been 5 capped. Wow, guys. What the? I'm dead. There's no ways. How am I going to survive against this? Ooh. Do I think it's overpowered? I know it's strong. I would need to use it more often to get an idea of how much of a difference it makes. Hi, Josh. I think that Luchador build that I have right now is actually, like, I can see it doing quite a bit of damage to a Rook. You know, if you time your abilities right, I think if you combine that with, like, the Paladin, I think it can actually do pretty well. Where's my... Well, my team actually, they all dropped in at home, which they shouldn't have done. Like, that's a very risky move. So they're spawning at home, but they're giving up, like, the left beacon, right? So if you're giving up the left beacon, the only place you can then spawn is at home. But there's one problem. When the enemy starts... When they start jumping towards that area or spawning in with their titans, you better hope you have a lot of luchadors and stuff. I'm just pushing because I know that Siren's not going to be a problem, really. He's just going to give us this beacon. Yep. Okay, now we're dealing with an invader. This is the other... So someone else asked me, like, what tanks can they use? I said invader. You see this guy, how he dropped in? So he's holding down the beacon, right? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Well, he should have stayed on the beacon. He left these guys to get it. I'm watching what's happening here. None of my teammates are on that beacon. I'm gonna have to sacrifice this. This invader's still alive. Ooh. Okay, there we go. We got him. This guy's gonna give us a beacon. He used his ability unless that Demeter gets on. Yep. Let's use the Demeter. I need my teammates to get on here quick. Wait, I can't drop in? Oh, they gave the beacon up. That's why. Guys, don't give up. Oh my gosh, I can't. Can I even drop in over here? I can't drop in anywhere now. Here? I couldn't drop in to save our beacon. The enemy had capped it. Okay, let's try to change this one at least. Okay, we got it. Do I have any teammates over there? I don't even think I do, right? Thankfully, this guy decided to help me. But I've taken on so much damage now that it's going to be all up to this rook. Jump! Squish him! Oh my gosh, I actually survived that? How? Uh-oh, uh-oh. Jeez. How did I survive that? Oh my gosh. This guy's gonna kill me though. Nope, he pushed me back. Yeah, I can't protect that beacon by myself. I tried. I mean, we did a decent job for the amount of time I was there. Wait a minute, why is that guy stowing his ability? Look. He's abusing the glitch. That guy's cheating. He's still in his ability too. Wow. Anything to win, I guess. Even if it means cheating. Yeah, dude, surely you must know you're in your ability and I can't hit you. You're doing damage. Wow. Like I said, guys, I can play 10 games. Out of the 10 games, 6 players will cheat. Here we go. Here's one of them. This guy was in his ability mode the entire time. Yeah, I'm liking that Luchador build. I think those modules work really good for that particular build. Man, I should have been dead. Like, do you see how much punishment it took? It actually did really well. Why didn't he ditch? Because he saw that he was doing damage and he was in ability mode, so why not take full advantage, right? Wait, did I just crash? That might also be another subtle hack. Who knows? There's actually a subtle hack that can cause that, apparently. Yeah, it's Benjamin. Yeah, Ben, it's not. And players will tell me that it's because it's pay to win. It's not. It has nothing to do with that. They do it in Fortnite too. If there's a glitch that they can abuse, they will do it. And that's a free game. Kind of sad, because I just like, I just want to play a game where I blow up robots. I don't have to think about all these things. It really is kind of dumb. Hopefully we can find a game here. Okay, there we go. What will I do? I'm not sure yet if I will level it up. I said I would level it up, but I really don't have the weapons to make it effective. Like, the score isn't really that good. I would have to test it, like, at that level. I think I would rather actually honestly run, like, Cinders on there. But Vajra and the Evora would be better. So I might level it up just to have it, but I would still run the Arthur just because I have the weapons for it. Another option would be to kind of level up the Mirrormets. I could level up the Mirrormets. And so, hold on, this guy, he's... Oh, he's got... Is that the Reaper? I think he has the Reaper weapon on there. I think he has the... Yeah, he has the... That's the Reaper. He might kill me here, but I already got Center Beacon. Except we didn't hold it down. Would it be nice if we actually held that down? I think it's this guy here that has it. I hope Ramil's watching this. Ramil, what do you think of your Reapers now? Just saying. This guy's gonna give me the beacon, I think. I might be able to drop in here with my Luchador and see if I can maybe kill this guy. We're gonna drop in with the Titans over here though. He's gonna drop in with that Titan. Oh! I tried to see if I could get a shot in from above. Let me just get onto this beacon here. Try to lock this guy down. Let's use the heal. He'll blind me. Still alive though. Yep, he's dead. Because it's really... Well, I was thinking of using the Meromets because I can get the... Oh, this guy's healing me. Thank you. I think of getting the Meromets because I already have like Vengeance. I could also use that. And I think I have... I have Gargantua and Pantagruel. And with all the stealth, I was thinking maybe that might actually somewhat work. You know what I mean? Ooh, I was hoping I could heal there. My team has given up a lot of... They've given up a lot of beacons. We actually had the lead too. There we go. You know what? I think actually Demeter with the Jerry Fortune might be very important in the current meta, because if you're facing a Rook and you have a Luchador and you have your Demeter, it could be very handy. I'm gonna teleport to this guy in center here. Let's lock this guy in place. We have two guys here. I don't think he can drop in, right? Oh, he can. I'm actually surprised he was able to drop in. Usually when you have two players on a beacon, it's enough to sway things. Okay, there we go. I need someone with a Luchador or something to drop in here, because I can't protect against this guy. I can't drop in over there. Yeah, my team's attacking the platform. That's a really bad strategy on this map. Like from this spawn, it's very bad. Because the enemy can, remember, the enemy can always drop in at home. So they will naturally get that beacon. And they can reinforce it too. Uh-oh. Yikes! I just need to change this. He's moving so fast though. We changed the white, but I need help. I don't have any help again. When he goes into flight, he will give me the beacon, but the thing is I can't hold it down because this is my last bot. Oh wait, my teammates are helping me. That's helping. Yeah, now we get the beacon. There we go. Man, that guy, he's just not dying. Die. There we go. That's what you like about the Gargantua and the Pantagruel. I'm just gonna go straight for him because that way I can try to avoid getting hit by his drone or his turret. But I'm still dead because I'm the only one left. You know why also? My teammates kept pushing their home, which I said is a bad strategy on this map. You don't want to do it from that spawn. So they probably all botted out going to the enemy home. Replaced purple shields with phase shift. Man, I've lost a lot of games. What's my win percentage? We're at 58. We're dropping. We're at the high end. Okay, so I'm wondering like what kind of changes I would make here. Hold on, let me just go back to this comment. I'm really liking where that Luchador is though. I think that Luchador is better. The jaw and the mace can work on the Ravana. Seraph decay is okay. Skyros. Okay, so the Skyros, I would make a change. I don't think I would use the freeze rockets. I would use the Sonic instead. I think might be better. Demeter with Havocs can work. Flames can work. Mace can work too. You know, in all honesty, like out of the games I played, even though I did lose, my hangar was holding up pretty good. So I don't think I would really make any changes. If there's any changes I would make, then maybe to the builds themselves. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, what changes would you make to this hangar if you had to change things? So if you had to keep these robots, what kind of changes would you make? I think it's more for me. It's just like really builds. Is the old map Yamantau? Yes, it will be returning. But they may not have activated it just yet. Because technically speaking, we're still in the previous update. We have like 4 days. We have 4 days left. So when this kind of expires and we have the new event, then we might see the Yamantau. But yeah, in all honesty though, this hangar actually held up pretty well. Like I've run a lot of different hangars and some of them you can tell when they're weak. This one is fairly balanced. Like you have some range with the Seraph. You can hold down beacons with like the Fenrir, the Skyros too. So these two work really well. Even the Demeter to some degree. And you know what? Like I said, I actually think this Demeter with the Jerry Fortune might be a very good option because with more players running the Rook. So if my teammate had like a Luchador, that could be key, right? If the Luchador on my team is taking damage from a Rook, what I can then do is teleport to the Luchador on my team. And because I'm using Jerry Fortune... Oh, I should have changed this. Because I'm using Jerry Fortune, you know, after teleportation, my teammates get 20% increased damage. And they would be using that to counter the Rook. So, like, I can see Demeter working too. Fenrir with Hammer and Mace. Yeah, that can work too. You think Seraph with Redeemer, that can work as well? Yeah, so I think it's more just like, it's more just the weapons. If you're gonna make, like if you're struggling in Diamond League, I think with this kind of lineup, then the next option would be to really focus on things like getting beacons, holding them down. I know it seems really basic, but you'd be surprised how many players don't do that. That will have a bigger impact on your game than, you know, maxing out like this hangar, for example. Imports. We're judging based on the community managers. Oh, you would use flame for... Yeah, I don't know if I would use flames for the Ravana. It's the same, so... This is the thing. Here, let me just do... And I mean, I mentioned it, but for... Sorry, I can't pronounce your name. That name is very long. I'm just going to say for one, this is just for your reference why I wouldn't use the jaw. The same thing will apply actually with this mace build, but you'll get the point. You'll get the point. I'll do a demonstration now so that you can see. Okay, so with these kinds of weapons, yes, they can do a lot of damage, and they can do a lot of damage under the right conditions for the Ravana, but watch what happens. So when I fire, you see like how my clip, so I have this much left of the clip. If I'm forced to go into Transcendence mode, you notice how it's not reloading. And because it's not reloading, when I get out of Transcendence mode, I will fire again, and then I'll use my ability again, but maybe I need more ammo to kill my opponent, but it's not reloading, right? So that is going to be a problem with both the jaw and the mace. Now, if we go back to the hangar, I'm going to put Havocs on and you'll see the difference. This is why quite often I tend to gravitate towards Havocs. The spike, you know, the harpoon weapons can work really well too because you don't really have that reload problem. The ultimate Orkan, I know not many will have it. If I shouldn't say if at all, but because I know there are players that have it. But if you're using that, the rockets kind of work in a very similar fashion. So we'll just do this, just so that you can kind of see that comparison. And you want weapons that have like high burst damage, but they have a reload as well. This way it just syncs better with the Ravana. Atomize? No, I wouldn't use Atomizer. I'll explain the reason for Atomizer in a bit. So we're going to do the same demonstration now with Havocs. Okay, so I'm going to fire a couple of shots, right? We're firing at our enemy. We use the ability. Notice how my weapons are reloading. You see that? See how it's reloading? So it allows me to build up, like basically reload all my weapons so I can hit them like en masse with my Havocs. And if you compare that to, I guess if I do the ultimate Orkan, it's the same thing. It'll be more noticeable on that actually, I think. Yeah, the cryos work as well. Although the cryos don't pack as much of a, like then you have to go by how fast it reloads. So what I can do here, we can put, we'll put the ultimate Orkan on here. We'll put a spike. I don't know how this is going to end up, but we'll do it this way because this way we can kind of see. And I guess cryos. We'll just use these cryos. So just go into a custom game. So sometimes it's good to kind of do this just so you can see what you're working with. Okay, so if there's someone in front of me, I'm going to fire at them, right? Go into ability mode. So you can see now. So which one is this one? This is the ultimate Orkan. See how fast it reloads? Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to fire. Oh, wait. I should wait until I have two abilities. Hold on. Yeah, the cryo is a lot slower. This is the cryo. This is the ultimate Orkan. And this is the spike. Jaw will suck like 4 days. Well, the jaw isn't really that good on this build because of the reload. Okay, so let's just fire. Right? Use the ability. Use the ability. You see how the ultimate Orkan, how fast it's reloading? That's why it's probably better suited for if you're going rockets. So these are the things that I would... Oh, wait, hold on. These are the things that I would look at. The other question that someone had was, what about atomizers? So let's just do like atomizers on here. One of the reasons why I don't like atomizers for this particular build, especially like the Ravana, because I want to make sure that I really optimize the strength. Being able to get close is important, so therefore I run close range weapons. Now, close range weapons generally do more damage per minute than medium range or long range. That's just it may not apply to all weapons, but it's just a general rule of thumb that I think is worth following. These weapons are medium range. But it's not just that. Let's just do this again. Okay, so if I'm fighting, let's just say this this building here in the center is a player. If I'm firing and I'm moving side to side, you see how my shots have that bullet spread? And when things are happening quickly, not all of your shots are going to hit. So if not all of your shots are gonna, you can even see it like now, like you see it's not concentrated. You see how, I mean, like if I fire at this wall or this building, there's a bit of bullet spread. That's going to be a bit of a problem because when you're fighting at close range, that means not all of your shots are going to hit because of that bullet spread. This kind of build, you need to keep your distance and you have to really focus on the player. But there's one problem. If you're dealing with nethers and they're dashing back and forth, or you have links, the chances are a lot of your shots are going to miss. So even though you have that reload, and yes, it can do a lot of damage, provided you can hit. But if your target is dashing back and forth, or they're in stealth and they're moving really quickly, you're not going to hit as much as you think. So you have to kind of keep that in mind, right? And these are all the things. And you can go through damage numbers all you want. I'm just telling you from a practical standpoint. You know, maybe these weapons do more damage than Havocs or whatever, right? But in the grand scheme of things, the Havocs will perform better on the battlefield because of what's out there. And this is just an example. I'm not saying that necessarily that's the case, but you do have to kind of factor these things in when you choose your builds. And if you're not sure and you can say, well, you know, I don't have these weapons, you know, I don't have all these resources, go into a test server if you can. You go into a test server, you can at least get a feel for whether it will work or not. Atomizers can work for certain builds, but I don't think I would choose it for this particular build. It won't do as well as you think. Havocs are definitely far deadlier. Yeah, pulsars would do a lot better, but pulsars, remember, are more focused than like when you hit a player. Like if you're on point, you will do more damage than atomizers. The other thing too, so atomizers have a range of 500, pulsars is 600. So not only can you lock players down, you have more range. So yeah, it will be more effective. Wooden orchid and no, because cryo, and we're talking like, you know, if I had to build a rocket build for the Ravana, then it would be the ultimate Orkans. Yes, you would miss, but remember, Orkans have splash. This does not have splash damage or AoE, right? Because you could be next to a wall and I could fire at the wall, and if you're close enough, you will take damage from my Orkans. That's the difference. Versus if you were next to a wall and I had to fire, if I missed, you're not taking any damage because, well, no splash. So the same thing goes with, you know, I could run Scorches on here and it's somewhat decent, but I don't like the reload of it. But you do have splash on there. Harpoon weapons. Harpoon weapons is very good. I just was using this as a substitute because not many have those weapons yet. If I had to make this build stronger or the strongest build, then, well, I released a video on this, but it would be the spike, like the harpoon weapons with the Kestrel. So it would be this build here. I think what I would actually do is this would be the optimum now with the unstable conduit. You could try... I think when I ran this, I did have 2 nuclear amps, although I was finding I was getting locked down a lot. But at the same time, it was a very effective build. So I think this was the build. So I had a Kestrel with 2 nuclear amps, a last stand. I didn't have unstable conduit because I found at the time it wasn't that great, but now they've changed it. So I would imagine that this is far more effective. But this would be the optimum build for the Skyros. Or at least that's what I would start off with. You know, I might tweak things here and there, but this is a good starting point. Should you use a Hellburner over the shell? I would. So the thing with the shell is you are going to charge up anyone who runs a nuclear amp. It will charge it up quicker. So if I'm running this module here and you were in a shell, because you have physical shields, it's going to charge up my nuclear amp faster. Whereas a Hellburner doesn't have that. The Hellburner is also faster and you can use your ability like more frequently. So I would actually gravitate more towards Hellburner. Hi, is it Mutasim? I probably got your name wrong, but welcome to the channel and the live stream. Okay, so before I kind of end things here, because I'm trying to keep this stream short. I say that because we're already past 1.5. But thank you so much to Juan. I'm not going to pronounce or even attempt to pronounce your name because that's a very long name. But thank you so much for your comment. And hopefully, you know, the changes I've mentioned in this live stream is able to help you out with your hangar. I think overall your hangar isn't that bad. What I would do from now on, I think, is just really focus on things like, you know, getting beacons, holding them down. So when you get your beacons, so for example, if you use like a Skyros and you go to a beacon, like it just says it's Dead City map, for example. Okay, you get the right beacon. Don't leave that beacon until your teammate is there. And then you can go into ball mode and go to the next beacon. It's little things like that, you know, learning how to execute really well those basics. That is going to have a bigger impact on your gameplay rather than just leveling things up or getting the meta or whatever. Because at the end of the day, even with all of that stuff, you will still have to execute and, you know, do these things well in order to win games. Okay, so that is my my take on this hangar. Now, for the ones who are kind of interested in having their hangar reviewed, like if you have a Dream Hangar, make sure to post it in the comment section down below once the stream has been published. And who knows, maybe next week or the week after, because I think we're going to have an update, which means I'm going to be busy kind of covering the new content. There's probably going to be giveaways too, but for the next Dream Hangars, I might choose yours, so you never know, and I will review it the same way, hopefully in video format too. I had to do this one in a live stream because yesterday something came up, and well, today family's coming over in like a couple hours, so I have to kind of hop off. Thank you, Knight. Okay, so I think that should wrap everything up. So before I get going, thank you very much to Dark Warrior, Lone, Smiley Togi, Dominic, Kind, Jack Goose, and Frederick for helping to moderate today's live stream chat. Much appreciated. Also, thank you very much to Gasper, to, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm just gonna say, is it Gab? Thank you, Gab, and thank you, Ramil, so much for your donations, for your membership gifts, and you know, just being a member and supporting me. So thank you so much, guys. And if they have YouTube channels, make sure to check them out as well. Is Erebus good? It's decent. I think when you start getting to like expert master, it's going to probably struggle just because a lot of players are running like the harpoon weapons now, and it can just pierce right through. So really, I guess it depends on what build you're running, but it has a lot of firepower, and you know, if you're running something like Decay, it can be very effective. But you won't see like the top players run it, just because they tend to be more tank speed. You know, they focus on tanks, speed, and just being able to survive, and the firepower, of course. That's why you see like more nethers and stuff, anglers. What about the giveaway? All the giveaway winners have been announced on my channel. All of them. I think they might have even been rewarded already. And that goes for the Reap and the Crisis. So I don't know when the next giveaway is going to be, but it probably will be soon after, like, you know, when the next update starts. So we have 4 days or whatever. I have to start planning for the next one. Okay, so I think that's going to be it. So if this is the first time you happen to drop by my YouTube channel, my live stream, I hope you enjoyed today's live stream featuring Dream Hangars. Once again, thank you so much to Juan for your Dream Hangar. And yeah, if you guys have Dream Hangars, make sure to post in the comment section down below. And who knows, the next episode, I might cover it. And with that said, thank you guys for watching. Stay safe. And until the next live stream, I'll catch you guys later. Cheers, guys.